I do have to admit that I like a deal. I think most people like a deal. I think they're like, what? A deal? Count me in.
Count me in twice.
And so when I saw that La Aurora was having a deal at my local tobacconist, I'm like, okay. But I shouldn't have to have a deal on La Aurora. They make pretty good stuff. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. Now, we've been having a back and forth about how to pronounce this thing, and I am going with Hors D'age, right? That is what this is from La Aurora. It is a 5 3/4 by 54 cigar, which means it's 5 3/4 inches long. Always makes Fingers Malloy laugh. And the ring gauge is a 54. That's the diameter of the cigar or how thick it is around. Again, with the laughter. So a full 64, like a 64 ring gauge would be a full 1 inch around. So this is a pretty good size. The term means beyond age. That is in the French. They do this every year. That was in 2018 with a 2017 release, according to the guys from cigardojo.com. That's Dojo. Actually, I should say dojoverse.com is the name of their website. And they've been pretty much good on bringing these back year after year. This is the 2022. So 5 3/4 by 54, Ecuadorian Sumatra seed wrapper, Ecuadorian Sumatra in the binder, and a mix of fillers. And first things first, wrapper is not oily, but is smooth. The wrapper color is brown, almost in a little bit of taupe, depending. It's like there's a clay look to the wrapper. And oddly, for a 5 3/4 by 54, I expected a little more heft. I think it feels fine, Fingers, but it's not a wiffle ball bat, but I would have expected just a little more heft in the cigar. That's my first take. What about you?
I think the heft is fine on it. It's got good hand feel. The band, of course, if you look at it closely, it's got a ferocious lion on it.
Right.
Just chilling.
You know what that lion's name is? Tim.
Oh, wow.
People don't know that.
How civilized.
Tim the La Aurora lion.
Tim the lion.
We're going to get in trouble from La Aurora. You know that, right?
Yeah, probably. But, we just lit this. We're just in the first third of the first third. And so far, the only thing I'm really, not a huge amount of pepper or spice, maybe just a tad, much more on, I'm siding more towards a woody note than anything else.
Well, I think you're right. As we've just lit this up, we've got some time to go. I definitely have more of a coffee than anything else. You're going to want to take your cigar and you are going to break it up into thirds in your mind. First third, second third, final third, right? First third, second third, final third. Then get your notebook. Any notebook will do. What did you eat today? I got a little excited there. What did you drink today? What was the weather? So the other day, it was 70 degrees in Indianapolis, Indiana. Fingers Malloy took a photo of himself on his back porch, having a cigar, overlooking his vast empire, and saying, yes, you are all my peoples. And he was feeling great. And today, he's wearing an official Eat, Drink, Smoke knit cap, which you can get at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. It's a beaut. It is a beaut. We only have 32,000 left in stock, so get one now. Supplies are limited.
Supplies are limited.
Is that how it goes?
That's exactly how it
Was
goes.
I supposed to tell the stock numbers? No. You don't. Then you say supplies are limited, and then people flock.
That's exactly right.
That's it. Right
you just wanted to say the word flock.
I sure did. And so you get your notebook. What'd you eat today? Drink today? Weather all affects the palate. All will affect flavors. And then for each third, what are the flavors that you get? Write it down. When you try the cigar a month from now, 6 months from now, whatever it is, you do it again. You write it down again, and then you're able to check your notes and say, all right, this is the through line. This is what my palate is. This is what I took from this cigar. It really helps you build your palate and understanding of what it is you like and what it is you don't.
Yeah. And you mentioned the weather. It's finally getting to the point where, at least in central Indiana, about every other day, it feels like you can go out and have a cigar on the patio.
Yeah.
Today, it's ridiculously cold. It's like 40 degrees. Winds are coming.
And when the weather is nice, you're like, I'm going to have another one.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got to get up early for that meeting. Another one. Everybody's DJ Khaled. Another one. And at that moment, it's been fantastic. But today is super cold. Smoke's very, very easy. I think the draw on this cigar is very simple. Not doing too much to drive me crazy, burning a little uneven right now, but that could be my fault as I was talking, maybe not paying attention to what was going on with the cigar. Very often we get asked, hey, I'm burning too much on one side, canoeing. What can you do? Remember, heat rises. Turn the cigar every now and again. Turn the cigar. That's it's science. It's not rocket science.
Turn your hand into a cigar rotisserie. Right?
You're the dumbest person I know. You're dumb in a way that,
wow.
Oh,
what I said right there was brilliant. Tell me any other cigar radio program that's used the terms cigar rotisserie.
Nobody else is dumb enough to do a cigar radio program. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about that. It's a nice cigar. It's easy. It is simple. Now, full disclosure, I had one yesterday. Oh. So I'm very curious to see, as we get into the second third of the cigar, Fingers Malloy, where you are with it. From La Aurora, this is the Hors D'age, and I believe that's how it's pronounced. Or D''Age, Hors D'age.
Weren't you paying attention when you were at the place where you were smoking the cigar? You didn't say shopkeep. What is the name of this cigar? That didn't happen at all?
Nope. I saw them and I said, yes, please. That's what happened. I figured I would be able to figure it out or kind of fake my way through it. Not yet. Not yet. I need to know which one it is. If someone could help me out there. People are trying to tell me that I should use AI because I asked this question on social media, and I know that it's a French term meaning beyond age, but according to this, it is Hors d'Age, not Hors D'age. Hors d'Age. That makes more sense. I knew the or, like hors d'oeuvres. I just know the other one. So
my first car was a Plymouth Hors d'Age. It's a 6-speed.
The better joke would have been my first car was an Hors d'Age.
Oh, see,
like Dodge.
Yeah, like Dodge.
See, Dodge used to be a brand in America. Remember when we used to make cars?
Wow.
Right? Remember we had the big 3 and then we had the big 2 and now we've got Tesla and everybody's trying to set their Teslas on fire, which we will discuss because it's all just insane. It's somebody else's property, people. You can't be setting these things on fire.
Oh, now we're concerned about setting other people's property on fire? I have
always been concerned with setting somebody else's things on fire.
I just noticed in the past, 15 years or so, it doesn't seem to matter to some people.
Well, it matters to me. Boy's got to have a standard. Mm-hmm. The Hors D'Age. It's not even D'Age, it's Hors D'Age.
Hors d'Age.
The Hors D'Age is what we're smoking. And thank you to AI. Thank you to the robots for figuring that out for us. Is this in our humidor? We will discuss that. We do have a full panoply of things to get to, including muffins. That's right. We made muffins. And we are going to answer one of the most age-old questions when it comes to muffins.
What does the word panoply mean?
Yeah, that's what we're going to answer. Really?
Yeah,
panoply?
I'll get a dictionary.
This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. So I ask a question. Being an inquisitive guy, being a curious bloke, I ask a question. How many blueberries is too many blueberries in your muffin? I didn't say it was an in-depth question. I didn't say it was going to change mankind. I'm just curious. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. My wife bakes fingers. I don't know if you knew that.
She bakes fingers?
Well, when she's in the mood. And she found this. This is a recipe called the Jordan Marsh Blueberry Recipe. There. Now, I'm afraid to tilt it too much for fear they'll fall off. There was a mall, a department store in the Boston area, Massachusetts area, Jordan Marsh, and this was the muffin that they made. You could pick one. You could pick any one. I'm not gonna tell you.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
It makes me sad. There it is. He took a muffin right there. Of course, he took the good one.
First of all, look at the
right.
Look at the presentation.
Right, done in the paper, and
wow,
properly folded and beautiful, like bakery presentation. But the question is, whether or not there's too many blueberries to go in a muffin. Now, this is the basics, right? Butter, sugar, eggs, vanilla, flour, baking powder, salt, milk, and 2.5 cups of blueberries, and then sugar on the topping. Just so you know, fingers, not keto.
Oh, shoot. Well, then I'll have to pass.
This is a legitimate muffin. But she made these the other day, and I looked at the muffin. I said, this is a problem. And she's like, what is the problem? I said, there's too many blueberries in the muffin. And she said, I want a divorce. I'm asking whether, first of all, you got to admit,
that's beautiful.
That is a beautiful thing right there. That is beautiful. And it's got density, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to break this apart.
Wow.
That's solid, right? That is a solid bit of blueberryness. Fingers, is there such a thing as too many blueberries?
No, you're being ridiculous.
Why?
You're being absolutely ridiculous.
I want flavor, but I want muffin too. I want more muffin than blueberry. I want the blueberry to be a little bit of a, ooh.
Okay.
Like
so
that.
You want your muffin to be blueberry curious.
Right.
Okay. Well, I guess
I'm not interested in my blueberries being L blueberry GTQ. That's I just want maybe blueberry questioning.
Okay.
Is what
okay, that's fair.
Well, send your emails.
Yeah, right. So I guess part of this is based on when you are planning on consuming the muffin.
Oh, that's really good.
And what type of blueberry muffin it is. Is it a breakfast blueberry muffin that you'll have with coffee, which you may want a few less blueberries? Or is it a dessert muffin that you're going to have later on in the day without coffee, where maybe you'd want a few more blueberries?
All right. First of all, that is fantastic. And what I like, and I know I'm different, maybe. What? What'd you do?
At the bottom. It's on the very bottom of the muffin.
Blueberries.
Wow, I'm very excited about this.
The cakey part, the muffin part, which we would call the muffin, it's got a little bit of chew and it's got a little bit of vanilla. And I love that texture flavor combination. Perfect. Almost like gets a little like swirly, like the consistency it creates in your mouth as you're chewing it. I love that. Right. But some people maybe they like it dry, maybe like it less cakey and more, I don't know. What would be less cake? What do they like less cakey? What about you? Is this your kind of muffin?
This is wonderful. I like it to be a little bit saltier. A little bit of salt.
Really?
A little bit of salt in there. To play with the sweetness and the blueberries. But no, this is
only half a teaspoon of salt.
Yeah, I think I'd like
entire recipe.
I think I would like a little bit more salt.
That's interesting. I wouldn't even have gone to that place.
I think that would play well. Am I off base?
In a blueberry muffin, yes. See, that's I would never. I don't even think you're wrong. I just never would have thought about. I need a little bit of salty in that muffin because there's nothing about a blueberry muffin to me that screams savory. Right? Like zero. It's all about the sweet. It's all about the rich. That's why I like the cake part of this so much. Now, growing up, you would get a blueberry muffin at a diner in New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey. And you would have them toast it. A blueberry muffin or a corn muffin. And you would have them toast it, and they put it on the flat top where they cooked everything. Same flat top they cooked the lobster thermidor.
Nice.
They would toast it, and the flavor would come off the grill. It was fantastic. And you'd butter it, and you'd be like, "Who cares? I'll be fat."
Well, that's what I was going to ask
Blended.
because my family is horrified. We get muffins a lot at one of the big, either the Costco or the BJ's warehouses, and the bakeries. Both of them, they do a fantastic job, and they do a good job with muffins. I like to slice my muffin in half and then butter them, and my family is just absolutely appalled.
Well, it depends on the kind of muffin. What kind of muffin?
Cranberry.
Oh, that's legit. Do you toast it first?
No.
Oh, that's weird because doesn't it crumble all over?
Oh, no. And if you get the real butter, I'm not talking about that margarine stuff. The real
But
real
you gotta
butter.
let the butter soften.
Yeah, but we
Wait,
buy
do you
this.
get the real butter that you then squeeze out of the
No,
bottle?
no. What it is, it's mostly butter with a little bit of olive oil. Make it spreadable. It's the spreadable butter. So you spread it on the muffin.
So that's not even real butter. You got to get some Kerrygold. You got to get there's some butters out there that like, and by the way, you should get organic.
Oh,
You know you should get real butter.
You hippie.
I gave you napkins. What'd you do with the napkins? You put the napkins, you put the muffin on top of the napkins.
Yeah.
And now you're with your hands in my studio. You're like, ah!
I'm doing it over the muffin.
Oh.
You put the muffin sprinkles back on the muffin.
By the way, if you would like to have the naming rights of the Eat, Drink, Smoke studio, they are available. Email fingers@eatdrinksmokeshow.com and you could have the naming rights to the Eat, Drink, Smoke Show studios. Call it whatever you like.
It's a classy place.
I do think there is such a thing as too many blueberries. And while I like the cake on this, too many blueberries.
You're insane.
Look at that.
Yes. That's wonderful.
That's too much.
And I got to say, I'm so glad I have coffee right now because this is absolutely perfect. Now, I don't know how much this is going to monkey with the cigar.
Oh, you'll never be able to taste a cigar again. The cigar will be dead to you.
By the way, I'm getting some wood notes, some leather, and some blueberry from the cigar.
I just do think that there has to be a proportion, a better proportion, less blueberry to the muffin.
You sound like De Niro in Casino. You know this, right? Why does he have 10 blueberry muffins in his muffin and I only have 3?
It's a good pull. It's a solid pull. I just do, but to that point, whatever the number is, you have to have an equal amount of blueberries in each blueberry muffin. You have to, and you have to count them like a grown-up. You have to do that. Otherwise, you're just terrible. If you're just eyeballing it and somebody only gets 2 blueberries, I mean that's a cause for war. How do you think World War I started? This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. Eat, Drink, Smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz. That right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. Get our books, Let's Go Bourbon and Let's Go Barbecue, available at Amazon.com. Let's Go Bourbon, the bourbon reader you've always needed. And Let's Go BBQ, recipes, tips, and tales from the pit, available at Amazon.com. Get those Father's Day gifts, those Easter gifts now before you ruin the holidays.
If I've said it once, I've said it once, Tony. April is the perfect time for giving.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a better gift than Let's Go Bourbon or Let's Go Barbecue, available right now at Amazon.com.
April showers means shower your loved ones with books from Eat, Drink, Smoke. God, that was cheesy. Let's Go Bourbon. Let's Go BBQ. Get those books. We're smoking from La Aurora, the Hors D'age. This is a yearly release from them. This is a 5 3/4 by 54 cigar, Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, a whole mix of things in the filler, Ecuadorian in the binder. I'm having a little problem keeping the burn even, but I think that's because we're up, we're down, we're not smoking it like we would smoke regularly because of the show that happens sometimes. So we don't really take it out on the cigar too badly, but the draw is wonderful. I've got a straight cut on this. Very, very shallow cut. You cut a little bit deeper into yours, but I'm telling you, it's smoking wonderfully. Fingers Malloy.
It is. Would you say this is a medium?
Oh, it's a good question. Since I have already smoked one, I would say to you, for me, it was a very easy medium.
Yeah,
a very, very easy medium cigar. If I take a look at Cigar Aficionado, they say medium full.
Wow.
And I'm like, I am not in any way, shape, or form there at all. If I take a look at the people at Neptune Cigar, they say it's a full-bodied cigar. I'm not there. I just am not experiencing it in that way. But let's see if we get to the second, third, whether or not we feel it. Well, I think it's an easy medium.
I would agree with you, and you're exactly right. We're still just in the first third of the cigar. For me, we've already addressed the draw. It's a nice, easy, simple, pleasant draw to it. It is burning slightly uneven, but again, that could be for a number of reasons. Maybe even user error. Sometimes, Tony, when you take a draw from the cigar and you only do the upper half and not the lower half. No, that doesn't happen.
What the hell?
That would make it burn unevenly.
Are you trying to get blueberry out of your teeth right now as you're having this conversation?
But just want to see if you're listening, or you go like that, it could burn unevenly. But no, for me though, as far as the notes go, I'm still not getting much of any spice at all. No real pepper. To me, for me, it's wood. And, you mentioned coffee earlier, and I couldn't tell if it was, getting coffee from the cigar, or the fact that, once again, I've had about 6 gallons of coffee today. So that may be monkeying with my palate, along with the 18 blueberries I just consumed in that muffin, which were fantastic.
Could have been the blueberries. I think this is an easy smoke. I do really feel that the coffee is there. I do think there's a woodiness that's there. Not creamy. That's not what this is. And it's weird because the wood kind of hits kind of dry on the front part of the tongue. The coffee more gets into the cheek, and there's a little bit now of a little bit of a nuttiness that's developing. I don't know if it's walnut or almonds. I'm going to go more for a mixed nuts and give myself an opportunity to figure out what it is. But from La Aurora, the Hors D'age, HORSD''AGE. I wasn't pronouncing it right at first, but we got it figured out. And you can grab this. The question, Fingers Malloy, is it in your humidor for $27?
I need to get more than through the first third to make that determination. I mean, that's a splurge cigar for me when we start getting close to $30.
I think 27's a splurge cigar for a lot of people. I will give you my answer. I bought these because it was there was a buy two get one opportunity.
Oh.
At that, I'm here to tell you, I don't feel bad at all. I am very, very, very happy. 27.
If you would have spent $81 on these 3 cigars, how would you feel?
I would feel less good, but it's 27 times 3, 81. Okay, then yes, I would feel less good. Very rarely have we changed our minds halfway through the show. We had a bourbon all picked out and said, you know what? It's time to introduce tequila. I don't know why we said that, but we did.
Hello, tequila.
It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. Let's be clear. Sammy Hagar is the father of celebrity booze.
Is he?
Who else would be the father of celebrity booze?
Well, you put me on the spot. I'm racking my brain off the top of my head. Well, of course, David Lee Roth was the original. He came out with the Van Roth.
What?
Forget it. I'm going nowhere with that.
No kidding. I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, because David Lee Roth came first in Van Halen before Sammy Hagar.
I get it now.
I reached into the Whitwell, and the Whitwell was dry.
Van Halen hate. I see what you're doing here. Sammy Hagar, Cabo Wabo. That's his place there, and it was in Cancun, and then there came the tequila, and then a massive portion of that got purchased, and then the rest of it got bought out in 2011. And Sammy Hagar just now counts his money and laughs like a fool.
Like a fool?
Like a fool. But Cabo Wabo tequila is what we have, and I have a bottle that is so old, it's the older label. They've changed the label, I'm pretty sure, since then, but this is the Reposado. Now, it's important to know the difference. We're not talking about shots tequila here. We're talking about a sipping tequila. So you've got a couple different kinds. You have Blanco, and you have Reposados, and you have Añejos. So Añejos are aged for a year to 3 years. Blancos really go through no aging, up to 2 months. A Reposado is between 2 months and a year. Aged in oak, it can be aged in French oak as well. And of course, tequila is about blue agave, right? Different than, let's say, if there's something else is used, that's a mezcal, mezcal. But in order to be a tequila, it has to be blue agave. So we've got here from Cabo Wabo the Reposado, we aged 2 months, if I have it right, in American oak barrels. This comes in, Fingers Malloy, at 40% alcohol by volume or 80 proof. No applause. Fingers does not applaud for anything over 100 proof. Are you one of these guys? You bartender in a previous life. You've had many a fine beverage in your day, and your day was just this afternoon. Have you had one of those bad tequila experiences?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Okay, so
I was young and I needed the money.
So
I was on the casting couch.
Wow.
For a young Shirley MacLaine.
Why do you sound like Shirley MacLaine right now?
I'm doing Jiminy Glick or some level of Martin Short right there. I apologize.
So when I was a bartender back in the day,
I was hungry for a future. Sorry. When you were a bartender, go ahead.
It was more of a college bar scene. And so people, if they were going to do shots of tequila, it would normally be Jose Cuervo, and they were hoping for a shot special, but there was a shot that people would do at the bar, and it was just basically to make their friends sick. And it was called a prairie fire.
Ah, yes, the prairie fire.
Do you know what a prairie fire is?
No idea. No idea.
Tequila with Tabasco sauce in it.
Oh, well.
If you're over 23 and you do that drink, you're going to have a bad time.
That sounds absolutely horrific.
Don't put Tabasco in your Cabo Wabo.
And also, listen, you can drink all the Jose Cuervo you like, but not necessarily a sipping tequila. They have grown massively in popularity, right there, where it's Don Julio tequila. There's a whole host of things. Of course, you can get some higher end Patrons, the El Tesoro. There's a series of them, and then there's the one that that Michael Jordan does, the Sincoro.
Yes,
the Sincoro tequila. Locally, we've done hiatus tequila before, which is actually very lovely. But the Cabo Wabo, I had the bottle, and these things should be tried. So, Fingers Malloy, let us take a look at the nose here. First of all, this is the faintest kind of yellow. Is this tequila right here? We've got these in rocks glasses,
and we both freely admit tequila is not normally our jam.
Oh God, we don't know what the hell we're doing at all. not even remotely in the slightest. It's just that tequilas have taken off. Part of the reason they've taken off is because it's been it's an easier thing to get on the shelves than bourbon or rye. You don't need the time in the barrels. You have a different tariff situation on tequila, or at least you have, that keeps the cost down. And that's why you see people getting into it. Guy Fieri and Santo tequila, of course. You see more and more of that. It's an easier thing for an entry point than, let's say, bourbon. But that nose,
it's very sweet. I guess that's probably the agave, right?
I would assume so.
And then for me, there's a hint of citrus in it. Just a hint.
Yeah, I think that's right. It does have a traditional tequila nose to it.
Yeah.
But it is not an intense nose at all. It is subtle. And so when you think of the intensity of tequila and you go, whoo, and you do that, you close your eyes and your mouth all gets this. When you talk about that citrus, you're talking about that traditional tequila kind of nose, the blue agave nose. That's what you're getting here in a lesser degree, and that's what makes it more palatable for sure.
But again, this is not this is probably the third tequila, maybe the fourth tequila we've done in 6 years.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how this goes down.
Are you going in first?
So interested, I'm going to go in right now.
He's going to do what's known as the Kentucky Chew. Even for tequila, you want to move it around the palate, get an idea for the flavors. You might want to take 2 sips. The first one to set the taste buds, and the second sip really to get an idea of where the flavors are. And remember, this has a little more aging to it. That should bring about a little more mellowing to it. Also, you're picking up some notes from the barrel. Certainly not enough time to really get intensity of the notes, but maybe to offer a little bit of softening.
Okay, that sweetness, I can only assume that's the agave. There's also a little bit for me, as someone who's not a huge tequila drinker. There's that citrus is still there. There's a little bit of a peppery note as well, and I would describe it as vanilla. I'm sure someone else. It's a very faint vanilla. I'm sure a more seasoned tequila drinker may think differently.
I'm going in for the Cabo Wabo Reposado. Here, I haven't even drank it yet, and I can't say it. Here I go.
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen, and he's doing what we like to call the Saginaw Swish. Well,
oh, that's pleasant. That's pleasant. Yeah, that flavor is on the tongue, coats the tongue. A little bit of heat in center chest, very, very little. I almost want it to be bigger. But yeah, you can sip that. I mean, we're gonna move it to a cube, but you can sip that. You can sip that all day. That's very, very simple. Part of me wants something with a little more complexity, but that did not put me off in the slightest. The Cabo Wabo Reposado Tequila. Keep it here. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. Eat, Drink, Smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz. That right there is Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. We are smoking from La Aurora. Look at that right there. Was it the Hors D'age? Is that how we decided how it's pronounced?
Yes.
Right? That is how it's I pronounced it wrong in the beginning and quickly corrected that because that was an extremely important thing to do. It's a Beyond Age. Is that it?
Yes.
Beyond Age.
Beyond Age, like us.
Right. That's it. It's a yearly they do at La Aurora, and this is the 2022. We're into the second third of this cigar. It is a 5 3/4 by 54. That's the ring gauge, 54. And I'm gonna tell you that everybody calls this a full cigar. I'm not there, and it's interesting that you're not there because we don't usually see that one 100% the same. But it's a full cigar. You know, the strength, the complexity, the how you feel when you're smoking it. I just think it's solid. Now it has picked up. It has gotten a little stronger now that we're into the second third, getting ready for the final third. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm full bodied on this.
I'll tell you what, when we first started smoking this in the first third, I thought mild to medium, closer to medium. Now I feel like it's a full medium. I medium full. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel like it's leaning toward full to me. It's a solid medium.
But it's been very enjoyable. Really good construction, La Aurora. This is nicely done. That Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, a whole bunch of things in the filler, Ecuadorian in the binder. It's the $27 price point that makes this one difficult. There's a lot going on here. It's a lovely, lovely smoke, but at $27, I think I'm going in some other directions. How did I find this? I found this with a buy two get one in a cigar lounge, and at that. No problem, because $20 for this stick? Sure. Absolutely. Smokes really well, really easy. That you do have a little bit of spices built up. That little bit of coffee that was in that first third, I think has subsided. You have that wood. There's a little bit of nuttiness, but not a cream on this cigar. So you would, everything about what I just said translates to a bigger feel, but it just doesn't play that way for me, right? Even with a little spice building up, it's just easy. And easy is good. I'm not saying lack of flavor or nothing like that. Easy is good.
It's playing more monotone for me. I'm just getting,
Really?
I'm just getting that wood note. There hasn't been a lot of spice buildup for me. I guess you could say kind of a creaminess.
You're not getting a back of tongue spice?
Mm-mm.
Wow. Okay. I mean, to each their own.
But you've said it on several occasions. I'm dead inside.
True enough.
True
enough, that's science right there. And we are drinking from Cabo Wabo, the Reposado. We are doing tequila, ladies and gentlemen. And it was very, very nice, neat, very nice. But we did add a cube. We did add a cube to it to see if there would be any difference
Oh, you just went right in.
Oh God, it got spicier.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can I just say, nice?
Mhm.
Now, listen, we are not tequila experts. What we have made the decision of is that we're going to try more things. We're going to build out more things in the repertoire, more than just bourbon and rye. It is eat, drink, smoke for a reason, and drink means all the things. And so we've done port this year. Now we're adding tequila in. We're going to be adding some other things in as well. A bunch of cocktails we want to give a go to. And I'm not much of a mixed drink guy, but really and truly, then there's a little more heat on the in now the center chest. You have that traditional tequila flavor. It is I don't say vanilla. I'd say there's a little bit of thick sweet going on. Um, Nice, simple, easy, basic in terms of not overwhelming. And I like it, but you gotta try it.
Okay.
He put the cube in, not just a little bit of water, put the cube in, and now he's giving it a go. Fingers Malloy, what say you?
It brought out for me more of the citrus.
Yeah, that's not where I'm landing. I mean, maybe there's a little maybe that's a line thing going on. Maybe just like an inexperienced palate giving it that flavor. But really,
Yeah. Yeah.
citrus to an orange, or citrus to a lime, or citrus to a more general family.
General family.
Huh.
Yeah. But I'm not getting a lot of that. You just said like a pepper spice kind of thing. You say it got spicier for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting much of that. So but it's really nice. I think I liked it better neat. But again, I guess today we are a gateway into tequila.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, because we are not tequila experts at all, but it's we do our best on the show to try to promote and try new things.
So here we are.
So here we are.
Is it in your liquor cabinet for $45 a bottle?
Probably not.
No, it's not. It's not in my liquor cabinet at $45 a bottle. It's in my liquor cabinet if it's on sale.
Yeah.
It's not in my liquor cabinet at $45 a bottle. I think once you're getting into those numbers, there are things to try and there are things to experience. And by the way, come back to me in a year after we've tried a dozen, and maybe I'll have more of a palate and more research under my belt to say, you know what? Allow me to revise that idea that it's not a buy at $45, and maybe it might very well be. But it's been enjoyable thus far. Time Fingers Malloy for news of the week.
Tony, as you know, one of my passions in life is monitoring social media outrage.
That's what you do. No one does it better. When he's not being a fitness influencer, Fingers Malloy,
oh my goodness,
monitors social media outrage.
What? You know, I had someone, because we do what we do, and I've got my 2 radio shows. You have 3 radio shows. You get agents, whatever, pitching guests. And because I have in my X profile that I am a fitness influencer, somehow I got on a press list. People are pitching me guests because I'm a fitness influencer.
You have to do that. That has to be a podcast.
Yeah.
The fitness influencer. And you, full body.
Yeah.
In clothes that are too small, asking questions like, what do you bench?
Feel the burn.
That's fantastic.
Feel the burn.
What do you
But
got?
social media outrage, Tony. People are angry with Southwest Airlines and their decision to eliminate the bags fly free policy. So much so that Frontier Airlines is now trying to capitalize on the social media outrage. They're introducing a free checked bag promotion in an effort to poach former Southwest passengers frustrated with Southwest's new policy.
Well, first of all, that's very smart. That is very, very smart. I personally find the idea of paying for bags to be insulting, because everybody knows that they're packing everything into those carry-ons. No one's weighing the carry-ons. They're fighting over the overhead space. That's how wars start, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they start. So the airlines are doing this to themselves. It's a mistake. I don't think, charging for seats and, you want to sit up front, or I can kind of understand it, but this is a bad idea and smart on Frontier.
What are the unintended consequences of this decision by Southwest? You may think that before people would just throw everything in their check bag and not have any carry-ons. Now you're going to have a longer wait as people board as they're trying to put stuff in their in their carry-ons and things like that. It makes you wonder how that's going to impact if flights are delayed even 10-15 minutes.
I think Southwest Airlines is about to learn what it's like to have that spirit.
Oh, I see what you did
see
there.
What I did there. See what I do think that they're going to have more issues. I don't think that the money matters, and all airlines are having issues, and all seems always to be the case. There are other ways, and no check. If they had gone from 2 to 1, I think people could have lived with it because it was Southwest. Now it's like, okay, you're just like everybody else.
Yeah, that's it.
And it is giving people a reason to shop.
That's what I was going to say. What makes Southwest special now?
Yeah, it's not the peanuts. La Aurora right here is what we are smoking. The Hors D'age from La Aurora. Nice cigar, not at $27, but a nice stick. I'd say a full medium is where I'd be. It has gotten a little stronger as we've gone through it. And the Cabo Wabo Reposado, nice. Not at $45, but nice. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. This is Eat Drink Smoke.
Follow Eat Drink Smoke on social media, on Twitter at Go Eat Drink Smoke, on Facebook, facebook.com/Eat Drink Smoke, and Instagram at Eat Drink Smoke Podcast.
Hey, you made it all the way through to the end of this video. We're proud of you.
You should watch more of our videos. Make sure you subscribe right there to Eat, Drink, Smoke, wherever it is you get your videos, on YouTube, on Rumble, and don't forget Instagram, Eat, Drink, Smoke Podcast, where we've got the shorts and some very cool things going on.